Hey, Redeemed Mechanic here, and today I'm working on a 2000 Volvo C70, and I just got done taking this window regulator out, and I'm going to try to recreate how we did it because I got halfway through it, and I'm like, man, this is the most ridiculous setup I've ever seen. So I went looking to see if I could find help online, and I couldn't find any. So I'm going to do people a solid and try to recreate what we had to do. First thing we had to do was take this door panel off. Okay, so it's fairly straightforward. You have around your door, you have a trim right here. It's let me find that thing for you. So it's this trim piece here. It's got a few tabs. You gotta use a trim stick, go gently around. It's very tight fitting in there. I guess they push up. This one looked like it had another one up here at some point, but I did not find one. So you may have another fifth one up here, but it looks like you just kind of pry it down and pop that out. And then there's a little cover plate here with a T20 Torx underneath it. And then along the bottom, you've got a lot of those little fasteners that you're supposed to push the center and then pry it out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Six of those. They weren't fun. And then you've got on the back side, you got 2 door clips. One there. That's on the opening side of the door. And then on the hinge side of the door, I think there was one as well. Yeah, there's one more on that side. So just make sure those get popped out. And then you would take your mirror trim up top. That's this piece here. It's just got 2 little poppies. Pull that mirror trim out, right? And then from there, I think that's about the part where I started filming, is once I had the door trim off. As you can see, I took the speaker out. There's a little honeycomb thing. I know I filmed taking this out. And, well, I'll edit in all the other things I took once I realized that this was going to be a nightmare. All right, in this photo, that bracket needs to come out, and that black plastic cover needs to come out, and that honeycomb diffuser is right underneath there. All right, so you got to take this thing out. There's a bolt there, and a bolt here. And then it lifts up, rotate it, and pull it out like that. There's another one in here, but I don't know that that one actually has to come out. We'll find out later. So seeing that we have adjustments here, right? There's one there, and there's one on the back side right there. And so since that looks like it's going to be kind of very touchy for the window to touch the top, I'm going to make a measurement shim. I already made one from the rear, but I'm going to show you how I did it. So here we go. I got me a little thin piece of cardboard, and I'll cut it. And I need to take a little bit more off, but I'm just going to get it down to where it drops right in, and that gives me my measurement. So trim a little bit more off here. Try again. Okay, let's see. Oh, look, that's just, yeah, there we go. All right, so now I'll label that as being the front one. I already did the same thing with the rear. So now I kind of already have a good idea where those need to be adjusted to before I even get started as I'm putting it in. Next, I got to take these mirror bolts out, and there's some shims underneath there, so we need to make sure we keep an eye on where they go. So for my own reference, it had the little one on the back towards the rear of the door, and it's rounded on top, and then this plate goes above the actual mirror bracket. We got take all this foam down carefully, and then we'll try to get some adhesive, spray adhesive, to tack it back up when we're done. If you pull on it gently, it seems to come up without actually ripping the insulation much. And then we'll take this door handle out of the way. It's 4 Torx bolts. I haven't taken any of these out yet, but I'd be willing to bet there's probably a little bit of fore and aft alignment on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline both the bolt holes and the bracket with Sharpie to kind of give myself an idea of where it's going to be when I'm done. Right, I'm just going to put a line there, a line on the back side here, and just do that kind of on all 4 corners. So, and then I'll do a little circle here, but that'll get me, if it has to be aligned, that'll get me back where I need to be. So there we go. I got marks there, marks there, marks there, mark there, and some marks there. So hopefully that'll kind of get me back where I need to be when I go to put this thing back in. All right, well, I'm glad that I did that measuring thing before I messed with these nuts, because I just went to back this nut off, and what it did is it spun the whole stud and cranked that measurement out way, like an inch further than it was before. So what I'm going to do now is put a wrench on it, and there's a T20 inside there. So I'll drive this forward to loosen it. All right, so I got the nut off of it that way, and I'm going to continue to drive this forward to get it out of the way. Don't want to go too far, but I want to make sure I can clear the window assembly and everything. Now, from what I understand, the window's got to be up when doing this, so I'm gonna have to juggle the window. It does go up, but it's not staying up because these cables are all messed up. So that'll be fun, but I think that stud needs to be in far enough to where we can clear up top. All right, so I got that one free as well, and it's in pretty far. Hopefully that's in far enough, because it seems to be hitting the actual backside of the regulator if I go any further than that. That one's in as far as it can go, right there. And I just got to take these 2 more bolts out here. It was 12 millimeter top and bottom, a T40 right there, and then 12, 12, 12. And I think we got to lift that whole assembly out. There's no way I'm going to be able to film doing that because I'm here by myself. You can see I've got a little jacking block holding the window up right now. So I think what I'm going to do is reach my arm in there and grab a hold of the glass and the top half of this regulator assembly at the same time to hold those 2 together, and then try to use my other arm to guide everything up as I come up. That's my plan. We'll see if it works. All right, and there she's out. So I forgot to mention, you got to unplug the stupid motor right here, and then just unplug it from the outside and push the whole grommet and everything through. Holding the window worked, holding the window up, and then just using my other hand while I'm holding the whole carriage assembly and the window up with the one hand, because the window would try to fall, and then using my other hand to guide it around all the things, like the studs kept on catching on stuff. But you get it out, and then it's over here on the ground, and now I can separate the window from the assembly, and we're sending that assembly out to a guy that rebuilds them, because the replacement unit is like unobtainium and over $1,000. So there's a place that rebuilds them. I didn't look it up. I'm doing this for a customer of mine that owns a used car lot, so he does his own parts research. I'm just pulling the part for him. But man, what a pain in the butt. And I'm using this video to remind me, because it'll be probably a week or 2 before I get this piece back for me to do a reassembly. So I'll do a part 2 then on putting it back together. Hopefully nobody needs it between now and then, but this helps getting it out. Okay, so I just removed the T40 bolts to get the glass out, and hand ratchet only on those. But I noticed, you know, I took this off, the glass came off, and I was gonna go ahead and just save this, you know, because I don't want to send this piece out. I don't think they need it at the rebuild place. But I noticed this, look, it's got shims under it. So make sure you pay attention to where these shims are. On mine, I have 3 shims on the bottom side of this one, which is, that's the front edge. So 3 shims on the bottom side at the front. And then let's take a look and see what we got on this one. This one is, because of the way the bracket's shaped, I can tell this is the rear of the door. And then let's look here. Oh yeah, we got 1 shim on the top of the front one. So I'm recording that. And yours may differ. I'm recording that for me, so when I go back I can reference that. So I just labeled on this opening side, and I'll label the other one as hinge side. So anyway, I hope that video helps a little bit. I know it's not as step-by-step methodical as what I usually do. I wasn't planning on doing a video for a window regulator. Most of them are pretty straightforward, but that one, it was a bit odd. So halfway through, I realized I needed to start filming, and so it's not as professionally done as it should be. I'm sorry, but I hope that helps you guys get that thing apart. And like I said, whenever I get the go-ahead to go back out there and reassemble the car, I'll try to film that as well. So hopefully this will, you know, there won't be somebody that needed this video today. Hopefully you don't need this video for another couple weeks. All right, y'all have a good one.